She said that if it weren't for me, her husband wouldn't have left her, and that now she has nowhere to go and nothing to her name. She even suggested that I should take responsibility and help her out, since I ruined her.
Complete connectivity.
Excuse me.
Business.
This pan is proven to perform. Over 90,000 of our pans can be found delivering on the line of over 1,900 of the world's...
Her life. She has 2 kids, a 10-year-old son, and a 7-year-old
Where's
daughter.
my
She claims that her husband is going to fight for full custody and that it's all my fault that her kids might end up living with him instead of her. She says that because of me, her life is falling
Shit,
apart
where's
and her
my-
children might grow up without
Where's
their
my
mother
thing? My
around.
sharpener.
I feel bad about the situation, but I also think it's unfair for her to put all this blame on me. I never forced her to cheat, and I wasn't the one who filed the divorce. I'm also not in a position to support her financially or emotionally. I'm still trying to figure out my own life. So am I the asshole for hooking up with a married woman and causing her divorce knowing she had kids?
Whoa!
You added that detail at the end.
Whoa, whoa!
He didn't say he knew she had kids at the start. Okay. I'll put it out there. The verdict was everyone sucks here. We rarely get those verdicts.
Yeah.
Everyone sucks here.
The old ish.
The old ish.
The old ish.
Got the old ish on this one.
This one.
Yeah, this sounds like a plot line of an HBO show
Yeah.
where everyone always sucks.
If
I guess I just
you
want to have a sharp
are
pencil.
knowingly being a mistress, you know, I don't know what the gender neutral term is. That.
Mistresso.
Mistress. If you're
Mysterio.
hooking up with someone that you know is married, like you're objectively, I think that's not a good thing to do. I think everyone agrees, like that's not a good thing.
Yeah,
to do.
if you want to avoid an absolute mess, you need to like. I feel like the way he explained how she talked about her current situation, she never used the word separated, but was like, yeah, like it's basically over. I would have been like, are you separated? And if she'd be like, well, no, I'd be like, okay, well, when you are, I'm here. Because it's just, I feel like it's a meme at this point. It's never actually over. They're never actually basically divorced. It's always like this mess.
Yeah, because, you know, in this situation, you're dealing with an untrustworthy person, right? Mm-hmm. You already know that she's in a relationship, so she's already lying to someone. You're expecting that she's telling you the truth. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and then you're shocked when it's like, oh, she was lying to me too. It's like, yeah, she sounds like a liar. Yeah. Like, that's what she's doing right now. You know, in this situation, if I was like his buddy, and he was like, yeah, I hooked up with this woman, and she's married, and she said she's going to divorce her husband. I'd be like, okay, cool. You should tell her, like, you'll then talk once that divorce is done. Because it's not just that it's wrong. Like, there's the wrongness of cheating. There's also in the situation of if someone's like, oh, I'm the other person. I'm like, that's also a stupid situation to get into. Yeah. It's wrong, but it's also, frankly, dangerous and just a mess. You're gonna end up in a mess, and it's not worth it, man. You're a 21-year-old dude. Go hook up with someone else. Yeah. Like, just find something that's not gonna be as complicated as that.
I think it's kind of funny how she was like, oh, I really like you so much. I can't wait for this marriage to be over. Oh, and she's like, it's over. No, it's over. It's your fault. Like, it's crazy. That's wild to me.
Yeah. Bro, no, I could never do what this guy did because, like, knowing someone has kids, too, just like,
I'm so curious, like, what that dynamic is, too, because what did she say she was 32? Like, there's an 11-year age gap.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be such, like, I don't know, a 21-year-old kid who, like, doesn't know any better getting into a situation like that. Like,
for sure.
Obviously, like, you know, he's not doing the right thing, but, like, God, yeah, I can't imagine being him in that situation, being like, oh, yeah, like, maybe this will happen. Like, she is going to, like...
She could be far more manipulative than we know. There's a lot of details that we don't have. We met through a mutual friend at a party, hit it off, and things escalated from there.
Well, yeah.
That's all we know.
I was thinking, like, when it's any kind of cheating, it's like, it's not like a responsible, long, well-thought-out, planned thing. No. Like, so, regardless, like, okay, was she gonna leave her husband and then this OP, were you gonna be the father of these kids? Like, was that what you were, like, planning? Like, there was no plan.
I think he was just...
Like for him,
maybe
he's
I'm
just having
misreading. I think he's
fun.
just having fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misreading.
Yeah, because he said I'm not emotionally available at the end there, and I was like, oh, that's a big one to drop. Okay, yeah. So
She has 2 kids, 10-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. She's 32, so she had her first kid when she was his age. So this almost feels like a
and he's
crisis.
half his age.
Yeah, no, it's a whole mess. Look, let's be clear. Everyone sucks here, but like, she is. This is insane on her part, and it's really gross. On top of it, like, yeah, you think about it. It's like you're dating
It's
someone.
quite the age gap, and yeah, when you have like, it's just like there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, this is unbelievable behavior, and then extra unbelievable. It always blows my mind when people cheat, and then when they're caught,
She can't handle.
they're like, I can't believe this is happening.
No.
You're ruining my life. I'm like, you at least take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Like if someone cheats, at least if you're caught, it's like, you know what, I did this.
No, it's
And
like,
I did this.
I think she couldn't handle the guilt of what she did, and so it's so easy to just like blame the other guy.
Yeah,
you know?
she totally blew up her life.
Yeah.
Like 100%. And you know, like I say with so many stories, yeah, her reasoning is one thing, but your actions are there and they're final. Like if you're having a crisis, if you're regretting this life you got into at a very young age, then but get divorced and then do this. Don't do this. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious she was, whatever is going on in her marriage, we don't know, but she was trying to find some sort of emotional or physical escape in some way, like she was unhappy in some way, but yeah, it's obvious that it seemed like she wanted both to continue on and just kind of like keep them separate. And,
Yeah,
and
you're
hopefully,
right.
Oh, totally.
You're so right. Yeah, like it was very much she was devastated that the marriage ended. So when she kind of pivoted and blamed him and was like, I can't believe it's over. It's all your fault. It's like that was kind of like her real cards being shown of like, oh, she was never planning to end that relationship.
This
that
was
marriage.
going on for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's an affair. That's a whole
I
ass
do think
affair.
after 6 months, you should be like, she's not getting divorced. Like,
Yeah.
And, yeah, she wanted to get away with this forever. And it seems like a lot of people who cheat, that is what they tend to do. It becomes a thing of like.
Yeah, and it's like if you obviously it doesn't sound like he was like in this for the long haul.
No.
I think it's 6 months, buddy. Get out. Just go.
Yeah.
Crazy. Comments. Don't get me wrong, you're absolutely an asshole, but she's the one that causes her divorce, not you. She's putting all the blame on you because shitty people don't take responsibility for their decisions. Everyone sucks here. Yeah. Everyone sucks here except the husband. You're an idiot who was sleeping with someone you knew was married. She decided she needs some young side karma got her. You'll get yours eventually.
Yeah, I feel like the stigma of like the other woman gets a lot of like negativity, which obviously cheating in general is bad, but I feel like as a guy, maybe he felt like it's like, I don't know, I'm just kind of here.
Totally. Yeah, the same connotation I don't think is there, you know, for a lot of dudes. Lastly, someone said, knowingly having an affair with someone who is married automatically makes you the asshole. Granted, she's the much bigger asshole, but you're the asshole too. That's very much how I see this.
Yeah.
Are we ready for our next story?
Yeah.
I'm thinking I am.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty ready.
Yeah, I knew we could do it.
Our next story. Am I the asshole for considering breaking up with my fiance because he ran away when we were being attacked? Is your fiance Jerry from Rick and Morty?
Oh my god, I thought you were gonna say Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
No. The first image that popped into my head is just like a raccoon or something, like chasing them, and he's just sprinting away.
He pushes her towards him. Okay, my fiance, a 24-year-old man, and I, a 24-year-old woman, have been dating for 6 years. He proposed to me a few months ago, which was the happiest moment of my life. We set our wedding date for this December. However, after what happened last night, I am seriously considering breaking up with my fiance, and am unsure if I am an asshole. My fiance, my brother, and I were all walking back to our car from dinner at a nice restaurant. The car was parked pretty far away as the place was packed, so we had to walk quite some distance. It was late at night, and as we were walking, a person on a bike came up to us and stopped us and demanded we give them everything we had. My fiance panicked and just ran away. But my brother talked to the man for a couple of minutes and ended up beating him up. Hey man, so what's going on here?
Oh my
Hey,
god.
I gotta beat you up now, man.
That's crazy.
The man had no weapon, it was just a fake gun. I called my fiance after that and told him everything was fine and that we would pick him up. My fiance still seemed a bit shaken, but I explained to him everything was all right and my fiance thanked my brother. However, I still feel extremely weird and sort of disappointed that my fiance just ran away. I understand it was his natural instinct, but seeing my brother take the attacker down in comparison to my fiance just running away, I feel like I lost a lot of love for my fiance after last night.
Oh.
You got the ick.
I spoke with my brother this morning to get his opinion, and he said I should still give my fiance a chance, and that my fiance loves me, and what happened last night is not a normal occurrence. I told him I got a massive ick, and I don't think this ick will ever go away.
Oh.
Am I the asshole?
Aw.
Oh, that's so
Dude,
painful.
you know what's so crazy is I've actually had this thought before where I'm worried about the day that comes when I have to step up and be a man. Like I'm serious. Like I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not a violent person. But sometimes I think I was like, if there's gonna come a day, maybe at some point when I have to when something happens to Raven and I gotta, hopefully punches won't have to be thrown. But when I have to stand up, I'm like, I hope when that time comes, I can find it within.
Yeah, you just have to mentally gas yourself up a little bit every day.
Yeah.
So that when it does happen, you are ready for this moment. I will say, I think it's so sad that has caused a long-term ick for him because it's here's the thing. This is probably the first time this has ever happened to him. And there's a first time where we don't do things so well. Okay, so now maybe he can be better next time. Don't let the first time, maybe one time I handled an earthquake so poorly. Okay, and I
Which one was it?
remember when I froze in fear during the Spider-Man movie? And I'm a firefighter, okay? I'm supposed to know everything about emergency situations and what to do, and I do. But sometimes.
I think your response was better than mine.
No.
I wasn't panicking at all. And so Courtney got up a bunch. We're in the movie theater watching Spider-Man. A bunch of people get up to go towards the exit, and Courtney's like, "Should we go?" And I'm sitting there and I just go, "Nah, there's nothing we can do." And I was just watching. I was like, "That's the best part." And I was like, "It makes the movie better." Okay, with earthquakes, I'm like, you're either gonna die or you're in a good place.
I know.
What are you gonna do? Run away from the earth?
Oh my God!
You gotta frank it up.
Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
We're in the middle of a movie theater. And you can get on the ground.
It's great.
There's a lot of okay, yeah. If you're close to a window, get away from the window, things like that. There's protocols.
No,
but
you're right. We're in a war room.
There's nothing we can do.
You're right.
I think what sucks about this is it's that he fully and it is fighter, and I agree with what you're saying.
No, but what was going on through my mind was I have no idea where the exit is. Meanwhile, the big exit sign is right here. And literally, the fear of my body is and people are clearly walking your direction, and I was like, which way do I go?
No,
it's a movie theater. You can get on
when your panic response hits, there's no thought.
But then after that, I was like, I'm so mad at myself. Next time, I'm gonna know. And maybe that'll be him.
Totally. You can definitely train yourself for situations. Absolutely.
I was like, oh.
And you look at the exit sign, you're like, what does that word mean? What is that?
Excite?
So funny.
Yeah.
One time, Raven and I got into a car accident, and it wasn't anything serious, but I definitely, it was one of those things where after it happened, I just, sat in the car silent.
Right.
She was driving, and I was like, I didn't know what to do, and she had to, look over at me, and she's like, can you do something? And I was like, so then, I got out of the car and, went to, check, on the other person, on the other car, and, a piece of her bumper had, come off, so I, tried to get that out of the road, and I was like, let's get you into, the center lane. But there was definitely a moment where I was like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do.
That's totally a moment of, shock.
Yeah, there's fight, flight, or freeze, and truthfully, it's not like he made a conscious decision in that moment. It sounds like his brain kicked in, and he went.
Yeah, he probably thought they were all gonna run.
That's a fair thought, that he probably turned back and he's like, uh-oh.
He kept running! He Forrest Gumped on their ass!
Yeah, so he ran they needed to call him to pick him up.
He's like running like 6 miles away, just.
He didn't look back.
I'm in Reno.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he ran for a long time. I think what's tough is, we're talking about the ick. I think that kind of like minimizes it and makes it, where it gets us away from the conversation.
Yeah.
I get also of like and this goes, I think, the same with like your friends or whatever, of being like, if we're in an emergency situation, are we gonna like, is this person gonna have my back?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I, with this person, need to be fully prepared to handle things on my own? And that's probably a scary thought, in general.
Yeah, because you don't expect something like this to happen. It's not something you really think to plan for. But I guess you never know these days. But like, I think it's just an uncomfortable, unfortunate thing that happened. But it's definitely a great thing to learn from. Not, I don't know. I feel bad for him.
I feel
really
so bad for him. I can't help but feel horrible for him, because you know he's probably ran away and then was just like, I feel awful.
Yeah, because like I think I would have chosen neither of those options. Like I get what you do. You give them everything and you run.
I think they're lucky with a fake gun.
I think the brother probably could tell it was a fake gun. Because sometimes they'll like there's the people who will have like a stapler in their like sweatshirt pocket, and like the shape of it will make you think it's a gun in their pocket or whatever. But like, normally you give them stuff and you just, because your life is more important. I would be afraid of running away. I'd be afraid that they would shoot.
That would be my
What I
thought.
don't get, like, if I see, maybe if guy had a knife, then maybe it's like a run situation, run angle. But if somebody has a gun, can't you just turn tail and run? Like,
The advice
the
advice I've heard is, if someone says, give me your money, you give them your money.
Yeah.
And then if they say, now get in the van, then you run or you fight or whatever. Like, but you're playing a risk. If someone seems to have a gun and you're gonna try to beat them up, you better hope it's not a gun.
yeah.
Like,
No, if there was a gun in front of me and somebody asked me to give them my stuff, I'm like, take whatever you want.
Take
my
the stuff.
shoes, take the shoes. Like,
Exactly.
I just want to go home.
right.
Can I call an Uber before you take my phone? Like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
They're like, okay, I'll call it. And it's like, can you? What kind of lift do you get? It's like not preferred. I'm like, come on,
can
man.
you order me like Uber Eats cheese so that I have food when I get home?
All right, dude. They do really good on Candy Crush, though, and you're like, sweet. But it's also, we're talking about how his response wasn't his choice. It's not like she's making a choice in how she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Her feeling is also like, she's like, I can't help but feel this way.
Yeah.
That also,
Yeah, like she had a physical like cringe.
it's, the situation sucks. Comments. Whether the change in your feelings about your fiance makes you an asshole or not, you would not be doing either of you any favors by staying with him out of guilt. That's fair. Someone said, my issue is he ran away and left you behind to defend yourself. Like, if his instinct was to run away, he should have also grabbed you to run away with him. It's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, and he just didn't even come back. Like,
Here it is.
that,
Yeah, no, that there was like a lot of like
there's a lot of
protection layers there. So like I understand it's like, oh, he messed up this one time. Messing up can cost you a life. Like
Right.
like gender roles aside, you kind of hope that, you know, some people really hope to feel some sense of protection, or like you want to feel safe with your person, and like that was a very important moment for her. And like I think maybe she would have had, and maybe the response wouldn't have been as intense if her brother hadn't literally done the flip. You know, like she got a prime example of like the opposite of what her fiance did.
I think it almost would have been worse though if she was just with her fiance and he ran and left
Oh
her
my
by
god,
herself.
devastating.
Like that's
Then that's a life. Like that's wild.
and it's just kind of like, I can't be with someone who's gonna do that, you know. So lastly, someone said, that's a tough one, but imagine if your brother wasn't there. It's scary to think your partner will not have your back. I've felt that ick you mentioned. It's really hard to bounce back from that. Not the asshole. Update.
Whoa.
Okay. I have broken up with my fiance.
Aww.
I did it this quick because it was not fair to him or to me to keep this relationship just stringing along. Yes, I love him a lot and will always cherish the memories I had with him. But after the incident last night, I just don't have the same love for him anymore, and I don't think I ever will. To be clear, I don't blame him for what he did in running away. It was his natural instinct, and I completely understand that. But when my brother instinctively stepped in front of me to shield me from the attacker in comparison to my fiance just running away scared, it pretty much evaporated most, if not all, of my feelings for my fiance. I've just learned about myself myself that one of my love languages is safety and security. I let my fiance know, and I apologized and told him I don't blame him at all for what happened the previous night. My fiance was devastated, and he did cry a lot, but after some time, he said he understood my decision. I still feel really guilty about it because my fiance is a really kind and sweet man, but it wouldn't be fair to him if my heart wasn't in it. He deserves to be in a relationship with someone who loves him for who he is, and I deserve to find someone who I wholly love. Cut to this ex-fiance walking up to a top of a mountain where there's a Shaolin monastery, and becoming the world's greatest fighter. I feel like he's like I'm gonna become.
He needs a redemption. No, but
that would be huge motivation for me. I'd be like, I'm gonna become the world's deadliest warrior now.
Yeah, no, I think she's so right, and that was a very important moment. Like, in any relationship, you learn how your partner acts, and she realized that she wants someone who she can feel safe with, and that might not be a priority. I know people that be like, yeah, I would probably be the one punching and kicking a cyclist off or whatever, but yeah, I think that's totally fair, and the whole situation's really so many awful things happening back to back, but. And I'm so sorry, I laughed when she said that he cried. I'm like, this guy.
I just feel so bad for him because I'm like, once he did that, he can't take it back, and he's probably regretting it. And because the fact that he goes, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. It's just like, this one just.
They're lucky no one was hurt.
All right, this one is a today I f***ed up. Today I f***ed up when I asked my girlfriend to come up with reasons why we might break up. Okay. My girlfriend and I were lying in bed last night, cuddling and shit.
Okay, cuddling and shitting.
Cuddling and shitting. My girlfriend and I were lying in bed last night, cuddling and shit, when it dawned on me all of a sudden that none of my friends were in relationships anymore. All of them had broken up with their partners within the past few months, which was more or less the same length of time my girlfriend and I had been together. I shared this revelation with my girlfriend mid-cuddle before asking her what I thought was a funny and harmless question at the time. I asked her what she thought would be the end of us and encouraged her to come up with ridiculous reasons only. Full disclosure, my girlfriend and I were both high during the inception of this f***up, so keep that in mind if some of our actions come across as somewhat random. Anyway, per my question, my girlfriend provided the following reasons that would cause our relationship to crumble. If I stopped showering, if during sex I said, I'm gonna come ... if I lived on the 13th floor, if I pssed at someone whose name I knew, if I used a spoon to drink tea or coffee like it was medicine, if I literally licked my thumb before turning to the next page of a book. If I literally licked my thumb before turning the page to the next page of a book. If I found out she had a dildo replica of her ex's penis. I paused my girlfriend when she got to the 7th reason and asked her if number 7 was something real or ridiculous because it sounded a lot less random than the other reasons. My girlfriend said it was both real and ridiculous while laughing because at that point, the atmosphere in the room was still lighthearted. I asked her why she still had her ex's fake penis in her possession. She shrugged and said it was a decent dildo. I was about to ask her if she still used the dildo, but she predicted my question and said it's been a long time since she used it. I think my face was beginning to show my mixed feelings because my girlfriend decided to tickle me out of the blue until I laughed. I did laugh, thanks to the tickle, but I was unable to forget about the clone-a-willy situation. It was bugging me. I had to see it, so I asked my girlfriend to show it to me. She reluctantly agreed to show it to me if I promised to file this whole situation under something that means nothing and move on. I promised. Dude.
No,
He
I don't want to see
lied.
it.
We know.
Look, if I'm dude in that situation, I do
I don't wanna
not
know.
want to see it. Just put it in the garbage.
Cast it to the shadow realm. For someone who said she struggled to remember when last she used the dildo, my girlfriend didn't even have to think about where she stored it. Just in case it's unclear, we were in her flat. As soon as I witnessed the clone dildo with my own 2 eyes, I knew, oh yeah, that shit was gonna live rent-free in the back of my mind. Of course it was big. I mean, what other size is there when it comes to X's? That's so good.
Oh, no.
My girlfriend asked if I wanted her to get rid of it. My mind said yes, but my mouth said it was her choice. She shrugged and said it was just another sex toy. I said a promise is a promise before deciding to make us some coffee, which I drank with a spoon. Playing the breakup game was not the smartest decision on my part. Now I'm cursed with the knowledge that my girlfriend not only kept her ex's cloned cock, but most likely used it whenever she wanted, which may or may not have been during our relationship.
Oh, we.
No,
Dude.
What's the big red
What? Now is not the time for secrets.
I wanted to say, I wanted to come in here.
Man, you know what that reminds me of?
Oh my god.
No, I was asking the name of something.
That's so crazy. So Shane doesn't know this, but
Please, no. I was asking the name of something because I just pictured them like, okay, great. So they're gonna get a cleaver and they're gonna chop it up and throw it away. And I was asking him what a cleaver was. That was a bunch of weird sentences I just said. Okay, but none of which was a secret.
Courtney's words were, "What's the big rectangular knife?"
so one is, I mean, he's high, but at least like the next day, it's like, hey man, that makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have every right to be like, hey.
There's also the other element of like, it's kind of weird that you have your ex's dildo, not just on behalf of your current boyfriend, but on behalf of your ex too.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's something that should probably go with the relationship.
I'm very much like I don't know, when I got out of a relationship, when I get out of a relationship, it's like if there are things that like very strongly like connect me to that, like things that I own, like even if it's like clothes or a hoodie or something, I'm like, I just want to get rid of it. Like I'm
Yeah.
closing the chapter on that. I don't want to have anything that I look at it and it makes me think of like that person.
Right.
Having a dildo of your ex, like
That's wild.
that's
Yeah.
insane.
Obviously, I'm not in that situation, but if I was the ex in this scenario and they broke up, I'd be like, hey, please get rid of that. Like,
Get rid of my penis.
Yeah.
get rid of my penis.
You can go get
You can.
another one.
They have teams of people designing fantastic dildos just for you.
Yeah.
Call them that.
Yeah. If I found that would be, no, I think that would be a deal breaker for me. That would be
that's
like
tough.
that's not something I don't think I could get over that.
A lot of comments. OP, you're allowed to change your mind and bring this up again in a measured and honest and sober conversation. If it's bothering you, please do. Spell out all your complicated feelings. Don't make demands or accusations. Trust that she loves you and has your best interest at heart. It sounds like you guys have a great relationship. Jealousy is amorphous and all-encompassing. It moves in the shadows. It doesn't have to make sense. Own it by exposing it to the light. Wow, okay. Someone said, a lot of people saying, oh, it's inanimate and meaningless. My brother, that shit would eat me up too. Lastly, someone said, play the reverse scenario. You have a clone of your ex's vagina sitting around that you use at will. I think that would be hurtful to your partner. Listen to your inner self. This is an important growth moment. Be vulnerable and ask for what you need. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. An open, honest relationship is the healthiest relationship. This is how you build one. It sounds like you're ignoring your feelings to try to appear secure. Secure people don't hide their feelings. They express them and look for people who accept them. Don't burn yourself to keep other people's warm. That's a good one. Update.
Whoa.
Based on my original post, the consensus was that I be honest with my girlfriend about how I feel regarding her ex's Clone a Willy dildo that she still owned. I was building up towards sharing my feelings with my girlfriend, but she beat me to it and ended up telling me that she got rid of her ex's Clone a Willy because she could tell how much it bothered me.
Aww.
I confirmed what she said about my feelings and thanked her for disposing of her ex's dick. My girlfriend said I should not be thanking her yet because she was not 100% honest with me when she initially said that she used her ex's Clone a Willy a long time ago. At that moment, I knew she was going to tell me that she used the Clone a Willy during her relationship with her ex, which was whatever, and during her relationship with me, which was where it kind of became a gray area for a current boyfriend perspective. My girlfriend came clean about using her ex's Clone a Willy until the two of us finally figured each other out sexually. I understood what she was saying. The chemistry between us was there since the beginning of our relationship, but the first few times we had sex was a bit of a learning curve for both of us. The sex was enjoyable for the most part, but despite our best efforts, we struggled to get each other off for some reason. During that time, my girlfriend said she low-key relied on her ex's Clone a Willy, which apparently made her orgasm without fail. Call me insecure or whatever, but hearing that made me go, ouch, on the inside. Yeah. My girlfriend said the irony of relying on her ex's Clone a Willy while we struggled to find our sweet spot in the bedroom was the fact that she realized later on that her attachment to something from the past might have prevented her from fully committing to something in the present, or something like that. She said it better. My girlfriend assured me that when she told me her ex's Clone a Willy was just another sex toy, she meant it, because that's what it became eventually when she learned to let go of lingering feelings and fully embrace the new connection she had with me. She made it sound like one of the reasons our sex life became the complete package it is now was due to the fact that she stopped using the Clone a Willy as her main source to get off. She apologized for not being vulnerable enough to unpack the impact her ex had on the beginning stages of our relationship, and promised that her flat was now free of all her ex's Clone-A-Willy dildos. I thought she implied that there was more than one Clone-A-Willy as a joke to get a reaction out of me, but as soon as she opened the garbage bin, I realized her ex really loved cloning his dick. I counted 3, including the one I knew about. The other 2 were both glow in the dark. My girlfriend and I laughed about it. I have a feeling we're going to be okay. That said, I'm not sure I'll easily forget about her well-endowed ex-boyfriend who pieced out of his relationship with my girlfriend by leaving behind not 1, not 2, but 3 of his dicks.
Wow.
Wow. What? 3 penises.
What for? Whatever for.
2 glow in the dark.
Well, maybe I get having one glow in the dark and one not. What's? Why do you need?
Look, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea. There's a lot going on. I've been exposed to a lot of situations I've never thought of before.
Yeah, no, this is great.
As it goes with every Reddit stories. I think what you also could have done in this situation is it's like you see the 3 penises, like, all right, we're going to get rid of them. And he's like, for sure. Then he grabs one and he just goes, all right, we must duel.
That's awesome.
You could do that.
I thought the update was going to be she has a clone ex. And it's
And he's
boys.
fully there. Props to them. They communicated. I will say, bravo to him for getting over that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's tough.
And that's really, really awesome that she kind of proactively was like, I can tell it bothered him. I'm going to do this. Like, I was hoping that this could be a learning moment once again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only hang-up, I think, because I think it is, like, really good how they communicated and how they were honest. My only hang-up is that when she says, like, I was using them at the start until we kind of found our sexual groove, I think that if she had gotten rid of them at that point, then it would have been, like, more like, okay, like, I get it, you were kind of putting that thing in the past, but the fact that she then still held on to them.
It's a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm thinking if I'm in this situation, even after this conversation, I don't know if I can do this. I think I'd be like, I'm never going to get that out of my head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't. Like,
Yeah.
that's tough.
I don't know how much like toys like that may cost. Like obviously she has a healthy relationship with her body and stuff. But yeah, I can understand like she just maybe just didn't get around to replacing them. Like everybody has like their needs and stuff. But yeah, it's the idea of it that's like, whoa.
Anyways, a lot to think about today.
A lot to think about.
Specifically, a lot to glow in the dark penises.
Yeah.
Think about.
Yeah.
Think about.
A lot of those to think about. Thank you both for being here. These are some
that was
crazy
good.
breakups.
Hey, thanks for having me, Shane. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Really good to be here as always, hanging out with you here on the Reddit stories.
What the hell? What the hell, man? Okay. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on these stories down below because these ones blew my mind. And let us know what other themes and subreddits you want us to cover on this show. And we will see you next Saturday.
Yeah, and if you ever want to test your boyfriend, do the bicyclist mugger test. Have someone try to
Where
mug
a
you.
cyclist comes up, pulls out a glow-in-the-dark dildo, and is like, hey, give me your money.
Give me your money. This is a gun.
They're like, oh, he says it's a gun. It must be. Okay. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Hate YouTube ads? You need this Chrome extension. I feel like I just found a Google cheat code. This Chrome extension lets you block ads or get paid to watch them. It's called Pi, and once I started using it, I was shocked at how much of my content was actually ads. Like this whole top row on Amazon, ads. But with Pi, I can actually see what it is.
Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know.